morning, everyone. It's time for travel. This time, it's a 2-day trip to Yamaguchi Prefecture. I just arrived at Yamaguchi Ube Airport from Haneda Airport on a Starflyer flight. Yamaguchi's beautiful tropical-like sea and rich food culture were even better than I imagined. Let's get started. I drove for about an hour and a half from the airport in a car share and arrived at Tsunoshima. This is a place called Samurai Chaya. I'm planning to have lunch here. There is a bell hanging at the entrance. It's a bell for good fortune. It's said that you should chant Arolihia in your heart. It's a bit different from what I expected. Okay, let's go. I ordered dishes have arrived. It's a hearty man meal with a generous serving of curry rice topped with roast beef and chicken. There's a flag standing up. Let's dig in. The curry has a classic Japanese curry flavor, but the portion size is huge. The roast beef is served with a sauce on top. I wonder how the roast beef will taste mixed with the curry. There was some fukujinzuke hidden underneath the roast beef. The roast beef has a pretty standard flavor. Next up is the chicken. Is it what's known as sanzokuyaki? This one also looks like it'll be quite filling. In Nagano, sanzokuyaki is fried chicken, but in Yamaguchi it's simply roasted. These two just happen to share the same name, but are actually different dishes. The Yamaguchi version is from a place called Irori Sanzoku, and it seems that their chicken became known as sanzokuyaki. Removing the skewer and eating it with your hands seems like it would make it easier to enjoy. I've made a good dent in it, but the portion size is still massive. It's definitely a man meal, and my wife would probably have a hard time finishing it. I feel like even 2/3 of this portion would have been more than enough to satisfy me. I was sitting by the window, and this is the view in front of me. It's very summery with lush, overgrown grass. Let's go check out the sea. It's a beautiful day. The sea around here has the atmosphere of the Seto Inland Sea. I'd love to relax a bit, but I have another reservation. I've arrived at the headquarters of Asahi Shuzo, the makers of Dassai. It's located in Iwakuni City, Yamaguchi. I have a tour of the facility booked for today. I'll wait at the headquarters store until it's time. Dassai started gaining popularity about 15 years ago, I think. Back then, I honestly didn't think it would become this big. It was delicious and hard to find, so I remember there were many restaurants advertising Dassai available to attract customers. They seized that opportunity and really grew the brand. Now it's available at a reasonable price and is one of my favorite sake brands. I've received a tour brochure. It outlines the production process. I'm excited since it's my first time seeing a sake brewery. I'm heading to the brewery where the production takes place. Before entering, I used Dassai's own ethanol for disinfection. I wish they'd sell this. Everyone is changing into white lab coats and heading inside. This is the washing and soaking process where the rice, which will be the main ingredient, is cleaned and soaked in water. But even though it's called washing rice, it's quite different from the way you wash rice at home for cooking. It's probably because they polish the rice down to 45% of its original size. The degree of polishing varies depending on the intended use of the rice. The more it's polished, the clearer and more refined the flavor becomes. This is the machine used for cooking the rice. They steam the rice using such a huge machine. The rice keeps coming out steadily. After processing a large amount with the machine, it seems like the finishing touches are done by hand. After this, they'll add koji mold and start the fermentation process. Here's the rice after fermentation has started, once the brewing process is complete. They manage it in smaller tanks compared to typical sake breweries. When you open the lid, it looks like this inside. The aroma of sake rises up strongly. Each one is kept under controlled temperatures. Here's what a tank with a shorter fermentation period looks like. It gives the impression of the early stages of fermentation. After fermentation, the sake is filtered using a centrifuge. After that, it just needs to be bottled. Dassai is known for its meticulous data management And behind the scenes, it looks like this. Daily progress is quantified, making it easier to make decisions and take actions. It's packed with attention to detail. So we've finished the tour and returned to the store. I'm thinking of buying some Dassai as a souvenir. Right nearby, there's also a cold storage warehouse. The area is lined with many Dasai facilities like this. Let's move on soon. It's a long drive from Iwakuni to Shimonoseki. I've arrived in Shimonoseki and checked into the hotel. The current time is 6 p.m. After dropping off my bag, I'll have dinner. There's a ferry terminal near the hotel. It connects to Busan, South Korea. There should be a nightly ferry departing from Shimonoseki to Busan, so this one might be getting ready to leave soon. It's a beautiful time with the light before sunset. By the way, I got a Dasai sparkling water during the brewery tour. And also a small glass. With the sake and the sparkling water, tonight's drinking set is all set. I chose the most polished one, which is the 23% polishing ratio. By the way, here's what today's hotel looks like. It's the Smile Hotel Shimonoseki, located in front of Shimonoseki Station. It has a bit of age, but it's clean, so it's all good. It's 16,300 yen for the night. I've arrived at C-Mall Shimonoseki, located in front of the station. It has a max value and a department store basement food section from Daimaru. Since we have drinks at the hotel, I decided to get some food here and have dinner in my room. Here's what I bought. It looks like we might have bought a bit too much. Maybe because I went just before closing, many items had discount stickers on them. The sushi was half price too. Since it's from Daimaru, it should be quite good. The fugu was sold out at Daimaru, so I got it at max value instead. And also some minced meat cutlets. It doesn't really have that distinct Yamaguchi vibe. And some grilled bonito tataki. Salted beef tongue with lemon. And finally a salad. It seems like you ended up buying more than planned because everything was so affordable. It's a small bottle, but it's not using a screw cap, which shows attention to detail. Let's start with the Dassai. It's crisp and easy to drink. It's the kind of drink that makes me forget it's alcoholic, and I end up drinking too much. It might not look fancy, but these simple things are often the most delicious and fun. Okay, let's eat. The outside was slowly getting darker. Across the sea, I can see the city of Moji that we visited the other day. By the way, the sake I'm drinking now, polished down to 23%, is ground this small compared to brown rice. After the meal, I plan to continue my editing work while drinking Dassai sparkling water. Alright then, see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's 10 a.m. I've checked out of the hotel and arrived at my first destination. This is Karato Market in Shimonoseki. I came here for brunch, but it seems popular, and the traffic is really heavy. Inside, it looks like this, and also functions as a wholesale market. It's packed with seafood companies inside, but I have business in the area further back. The area further back is lined with shops for the general public. It's busy today, especially since it's Saturday. The specialty here is sushi. You can order your favorite pieces starting from just one. Each shop has its own unique offerings, ranging from small, affordable pieces to sushi with extravagantly large toppings. They also have seafood bowls.
This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me.
When I came back down to the first floor, there's a long line at the bluefin tuna fatty cut Otoro shop. 300 yen for Otoro is a great deal, right? Let's take a little walk around. This shop seems to have a good balance between price and portion size. It's really lively here.
I know the hour's getting late. I shouldn't sit
The tuna
here
shop.
all today. I just can't stop thinking
There's sushi on the other side as well.
I won't forget a single thing.
This is a seafood bowl shop. As expected of a market, the prices are pretty reasonable. In Tokyo, I feel like it would cost about 3 times as much. In this shop, there is a tuna still being worked on even after being filleted.
This isn't how it's supposed to be.
portions here are huge. Everything looks delicious. Let's buy something from here. There are also some fried food shops, but I'll hold off on those for today. Yeah, I ate a bit too much yesterday. I bought some sushi and stepped outside. There aren't many places to sit inside the market, so everyone eats out here. Most of the seating spots are taken, but let's try to find a place. While looking for a spot, my sushi got a bit jumbled. From right to left, it's amberjack, lean tuna, horse mackerel, and grouper. I started with the amberjack, and the piece was so big that it barely fit in one bite. The horse mackerel also has a beautiful color. It looks delicious. The last piece is the grouper. Just 4 pieces of sushi have made me really full. Now that I'm full, let's get going. I've arrived at Tsunoshima Bridge in the northwest part of Yamaguchi. As you can see, the bridge stretches straight out into the sea, and it's beautiful. The island over there is Tsunoshima, where I'm planning to go next. There's an observation deck next to the bridge, but if you climb this small hill I'm on now, you can see the full view even more beautifully. Even so, the sea in Yamaguchi has surprisingly tropical colors. The coastal drive to get here was also really enjoyable. I crossed the bridge and made it to Tsunoshima Lighthouse. This is one of the 16 climbable lighthouses in the whole country. This lighthouse has been operating since 1876, the 9th year of the Meiji era. It's almost the 150th anniversary. Compared to its long history, it seems like it was designated as an important cultural property fairly recently. So I got my stamp as a souvenir. This is my second stamp. The first one was from the Toimasaki Lighthouse in Miyazaki. This lighthouse was designed by Branton, a British architect invited by the Meiji government. He also designed 5 other lighthouses. This memorial hall was originally a building used as a resting place. In other words, it was the lighthouse keeper's residence. Alright, let's cross the bridge again and head back to the mainland. By the way, isn't this view from the middle of the bridge pretty interesting? It looks like the sea is split into 2 different sections right in the middle. Apparently, this is caused by the collision of the Sea of Japan's current and the Hibikinada Sea's current. Next, I arrived at Motonosumi Shrine. Believe it or not, there are 123 torii gates lined up leading towards the sea. It was established in 1955, so it's actually pretty new for a shrine. It's pretty interesting that even in modern times, they built a shrine based on a white fox's oracle. In 2015, CNN picked it as one of Japan's 31 most beautiful places. There is a donation box set up at the big torii gate. Usually, donation boxes are on the ground, but here it's set up 5 meters up in the air. It's said that if you throw your offering from below and it lands in the box, your wish will come true. It seems to be surprisingly challenging. When someone successfully lands their offering, there's a little cheer that goes up. Let's head down and check it out. I'll walk through the red torii gate tunnel. You can see the sea through the gaps between the torii gates. I've come down quite a bit. The finish line is just up ahead. It's so hot that the soft cream I just bought is already starting to melt. I'm enjoying this citrus soft serve. It's a mix with milk. And this is what happened in just 3 minutes. I've got to eat it quickly before it melts. Next, I headed to Akiyoshidai. It's one of Japan's 3 karst landscapes. Yeah, I visited a karst landscape during the trip to Hime too. The rocks here aren't as prominent as they were at the Shikoku Karst. It's a relaxing scene with wide open views. The sun is starting to set a bit, so the heat is easing up just a little. There are people out strolling around too. I found a cafe, so I'm taking a little break. There's a model of the area around here. It's a region with few plains and lots of mountains. Let's order something called the Akiyoshidai frap. It represents Akiyoshidai with matcha flavor. I see, now that you mention it, it does seem fitting. Maybe the whipped cream represents the limestone. It seems like it's gonna cool me down from the inside out. I've arrived at Yasaki Shrine in Yamaguchi City. The Yamaguchi Jion Festival is happening later today. Inside the shrine's main hall, a ceremony is taking place. After that, it'll be time for the portable shrine, Mikoshi. Even the local TV station in Yamaguchi has come to cover the event and is waiting for it to start. It's said that long ago the town of Yamaguchi was modeled after Kyoto. At that time, the Jion Festival from Kyoto was also brought to Yamaguchi. It has a history of about 600 years from that time. It started. But since I have a flight to catch later, I'll need to head out soon. I'll have to find another chance to come back and enjoy it. This is Yuda Onsen Station. There's a big fox statue in front of the station. The hot spring's origin dates back to about 600 years ago, when a fox discovered it. The post at the station is also decorated with a fox design. Yes, just like at Motonosumi Shrine, Yamaguchi has a lot of fox-related legends. I've made it back to the airport. The airport is decorated for the Lantern Festival held in August. It's held to coincide with the old lunar calendar's Tanabata Festival. It looks like there are various events happening. I would have loved to check it out if the timing had worked out. So that's a wrap on the Yamaguchi trip. Yamaguchi was even better than I expected, so I definitely plan to come back soon. It seems like there are still many wonderful places to see. Alright, time to head back to Haneda with Starflyer. Thank you for watching again this time. See you on the next trip. Goodbye for now.